to start the final term in this preliminary final. Now the middle straight away, it was Gilmore to Cooper. Cooper gets the 1-2 back and then almost got the handball away. Mazzarella in there as well as Nicolo, ricocheted off from Bennett. Out wide now Turner, who's resumed his role as half-back. He goes towards half-forward and Harris with a great mark.
He's been a lot more involved recently, Joel Harris.
Certainly has. He's just going to chip it laterally to Mazzarella, who sets sail for home. Top of the goal square. Taylor, front of the spot. Great smother from Will Gilmore. And it's rushed through for a behind.
Would have been the perfect start for the Demons against the wind in a last quarter where they got to kick at least 8 goals to potentially send themselves into a grand final for 2024, as Colatillo's kick was a little bit dangerous, but it will work out for Cooper, who does well to evade one tackle, then the second, and now moves it out wide towards the boundary line, the broadcast side. Boundy's Merkel's there, can't take it cleanly, then taps it out of bounds. Will it be called deliberate? Yes, it will. Umpire rewards the Demons. Rakovelis gets a short kick up towards Harris, who's now looking for options inside forward 50 as he runs about 20 metres off his line. Sends it up towards Mazzarella, who can't take the mark on the first attempt. Cooper snatched it out of him on the second, and will get a ball up for all his troubles. Just inside his defensive 50, Tom Cooper. Under enormous pressure early on in this last term at Old Parade, as it goes back up with Morrison and Gilmore at it again. Out the back doing well to get a handball is, I think, Rakovolis, who gets a kick up towards the goal line. No one can take the mark, but Chiga's there. He's tackled straight away. And we get a ball up about 20 metres from home for the Demons.
And Robert Fletcher at three-quarter time told the Mernda players, take the game on, and there's a pulse. That's what they're doing right now.
Well, they've got nothing to lose, that's for sure. Nicolo gets the clearing kick for the Raiders. Kafari on the third attempt takes the mark. He's on the pavilion side. Kafari down the line. Favours Healy. Drop the mark though. Mernda with numbers at ground level. Here's Kelly. Goes back to Turner. And here's kicks a good one. Now's a chance here for Rakovolis. Goes towards half forward. Mazzarella leading the foot race. Can he get past King? Got the handball away. Ended up working out well for Bell. Bell sets sail for home. Twirling ball didn't come back. And a behind for the Demons.
And we were right behind that kicker. When it left his boot, we felt almost certain, or I did anyway, that the wind was going to blow it enough right to left to take it through the goal, but it held its line.
So Desmond will clear it away for the Raiders. The margin's 40 points.
Kicked a miracle goal in that third quarter, Bell, which sparked a bit of life in them, and couldn't quite kick another really good one there as Desmond's kick out works to Nicolo, who has it just in front of the Mernda bench as the sun shines lovely down. Merkel from the back, couldn't quite take the hanger over Billy Morrison. Goes again at ground level, was dispossessed, and now through Roussos, Mernda will go back inside forward 50. His kick has too much pepper on it, but will bounce all the way towards the goal line. And if it was on target, he may have kicked a miracle goal. It's a boundary throw-in instead. This is pretty good from Mernda so far. They really are, as you said, Doug, taking the game on early and giving themselves lots of chances. Taylor's able to win the hit out, tries to get it to Black. He couldn't take it on the first occasion. On the second occasion, he picks it up, but he's met by 2 Old Parade defenders, and it's a ball up again inside forward 50.
Rucks go at it, it's Gilmore. Got the tap away in the Pachiga direction. That ball not going anywhere as it stands. And we'll have another ball up.
Now, while Mernda are fighting out to the bitter end, for Old Paradians, they would really like to storm home this quarter and go into the grand final with a bit of momentum.
Gilmore got the tap. Demons might be happy to see the boundary line here. Still in play for the time being. They managed to clear this ball, and they get it to the Mazzarella direction. Got hands onto it. Can handball out the back. Rakovolis. That hangs in the air for a very long time. Tough one for Harris to mark. He didn't take it. Rakovolis will try again, and it worked out somehow. And the mark's taken by Bell. He will have a shot from a tight angle. He's going to run around outside of the boot. Umpire's told him to go back on his line.
I think it's 50.
Oh, right.
Ran over the mark.
Ran over the mark. You might be right.
Well, that was a quite difficult shot, even though it was close in, because it was right on the boundary line, virtually right on the behind post.
Bell kicks the goal, and the margin's back to 34 points.
There's a bit of life in them, guys. I think there's a little life in them.
No doubt about it. So 6-11 plays 12-9. I think, from memory, well, from looking back on the stats sheet, so the Demons have kicked, well, I reckon the last few goals here.
They have kicked the last 4 goals of the game.
There you go.
That was 81-19. They kicked 3 goals, 3 after that to end the third term, and then one goal 2. So they've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 scoring shots in a row without the Raiders scoring.
But Healy's just heard what you said, Doug. He was trying to end the run, but he couldn't. Misses out of bounds on the full.
Yeah. Which is a win for Mernda. So they get the ball back and don't concede anything. Would have been a handy point for the Raiders.
Yeah. Now, if you look at this from Mernda's point of view, even if they don't win the game, if they win the last quarter against the win, that is a big mini win for them.
Going into an off-season that they would be disappointed with how the current season played out, were potential flag fancies as that kick is sent up towards the line. That's a great mark from Sam Gilmore for the Raiders, who's going to quickly play on and try and send it back inside forward 50 towards the top of the goal square. Can Merkel fly from the back? He does, can't take the mark. Karafi gets it up towards Brunskill, who's under enormous pressure. Did well to get a handball off to Desmond, who finds King, and King, great composure, finds Merkel by himself.
Yeah, a good play by King, because he was a defender. There would have been, maybe his eyes lit up and he would have had a long ping, but this was a much better option to give a noted goal kicker a chance.
So Mitch Merkel, he's already got 1 to his name today, and of the players out there this afternoon for Old Parade, he's got the second most goals for them this season. Can this be his second and stop a run of 4 in a row for Mernda? Kerr out the back tried to help out. Instead, it's through for a behind. Their first score of the quarter, the Raiders, and Marshall will take the kick out for Mernda.
35 points of difference, 7.5 gone last term of this preliminary final. Marshall's kick gets to Yankos.
Yankos has been a very good player in defence.
He has, and he's going to win a 50-metre penalty here.
Well, they can't be silly here, the Raiders. They do have a really comfortable lead, but as we've seen, a couple goals can swing the game.
Certainly can.
And I think that wind has actually died down a tiny bit.
Yankos goes down the line, looking for Callett. Philp tackled without the footy in the end, but it's going to be Whittle who gets it over to Nolan, who's going to pick this ball up eventually. Nolan on the paint of 50 towards Kerr. Couldn't take the mark. Nolan kept running, kept his feet, over to Healy. And Old Paradians end the run, but more importantly, they're celebrating early because this time next week they'll be in a grand final. 13-10-88 to 6-11-47. 41 points down the margin again. And, well, the Raiders can definitely now, Doug, start thinking towards next week.
Yeah, that's right. And hasn't Marcus Nolan been a good player? He was the one that kept his composure there, got the handball out to Hilly, who finished the job. And that's probably the one that breaks the back. Now, it'll be interesting to see what happens now. Will the Raiders just run away with this, or is there still fight left in Mernda?
Well, it'll be almost just like the second quarter where Mernda kicked the first goal. They responded straight away, the Raiders, and then went on to kick the next 9 to have a 10-goal quarter. As we go back in the middle and the wind picks up, Taylor and Gilmore go at it. Gilmore does so well to knock it down to Tolley, whose kick inside forward 50 is a wobbly one. Works its way all the way out the back towards where Boundy is. He can't take it cleanly on his first, second, third or fourth attempt. Turner's kick, it's a little bit wobbly and a little bit ugly out of defensive 50, which allows Karafi to get there for Old Parade. His handball intercepted. Doing well was getting in there was Bennett. He's hurt himself though as he goes to ground. Cooper handballs that over the boundary line and we'll get a throw in just outside Old Parade's forward 50.
Why did you say the wind died down?
I know.
Since you've said that.
I know. I got carried away.
The
sun's got me a little bit too optimistic.
Boundary throw in between wing and half forward for the Raiders. Tap from Gilmore, looking for Cooper. Sweeping through there was O'Sullivan. Out the back of the pack now, the Raiders. They can send it deep inside 50. Doesn't bounce for anyone. It'll go out of bounds for a boundary throw.
Yeah. Oh, I've heavily jinxed this. This has never been this strong since the first quarter.
Now, we're a long way from the North Pole, but I think that's where the wind's coming from right at the moment. And I notice that Turner has gone back to defence for this fourth term.
10 minutes gone, last quarter. 41 points to difference in favour of Old Paradians. Tap from Taylor. Here's O'Sullivan. Can't get it to a teammate. Getting boots the ball was Healy. Worked out all right. Merkel with the diving mark. And he'll try again for goal number 2 in this preliminary final.
A little bit easier for him, directly in front from about 20 metres out.
Definitely take this one. Although now that you've just said that, Zach, you'll spray this one completely.
Yes.
But let's see.
Sorry, Mitch. You can. I owe you a beer if you miss this one, mate.
Right. Zach's nailed was a certainty, but there's no pressure.
Merkel comes in and just sneaks it home. So back-to-back goals for the Raiders extends this margin back out to 47 points, 14-10-94 to 6-11-47.
Yeah, now as I was saying before, the Raiders would really love to go in with great momentum into the grand final. So kick the last 2 goals. They'd like to add a few more in this last term and get that not only the big win but also the confidence.
I think for Mernda's sake as well, they don't want to find that just because they've kicked 2 goals in a row now, the Raiders, that the sting fizzles out of the game and they don't really try and play all the way to the end.
So we'll go again. Taylor and Gilmore to do the ruck work. Gilmore's tap. This time it went towards the Demons as they try to push forward. It spilled out away for Cooper from 70 metres out to the top of the goal square. Kerr sandwiched between a couple of Demons. He's Franz doing the front and centre work. Somehow got boots a ball. Cut off by the D's. Not 15 though, says the umpire. Marshall, dangerous handball there for Yankos. And umpire says, I'll have it. 40 out from the Old Paradians goal. So at what point now do the Raiders start to rest some of their better players? Tolley tried to get through the pack. Umpire says he had time to get rid of it and didn't, so holding the footy.
Yeah, you think with a lead this big that anyone who's feeling a bit sore should probably come off, as the Fitzroy Stars have had a nice rest.
A few of them watching today, that's for sure, the Stars. As they clear it out of the defensive 50 to D's, and then it's spoiled over for a boundary throw-in. Might start getting your thoughts on who you think our Melbourne Greyhounds best on ground recipient is, because the Raiders have just had so many contributors that it's really up for grabs.
Well, you could pick about 10, I reckon. Gilmore, of course, in the ruck. Marcus Nolan, the captain. Jack Nicolo's been fantastic in defence. There's 3 for a start.
Well, here's Merkel trying to add some more goals. He lost the footy, though. Demons are going to try and run this out. Are they successful in doing so? The handball chain. No, not okay. Gilmore just getting a hand into it. Taylor. Now Bell. In fact, it's Bennett. Goes towards half forward in the Crouch direction. Punched away from him. Here's Desmond. He's happy to be wrapped up in a tackle.
So that's 3 players for me, and interested to hear other people's opinions.
I think Joel Tolley's had a really good day as well for the Raiders as the ball's thrown back up. Gilmore taps it down, not to a teammate, which allows Mernda to get forward here. Black will send it inside forward 50 for the Demons. He puts it out into space for Bell, who can run onto it. Gets a handball over the top to Crouch, and the Demons will get another goal this quarter. That's Crouch's first and Mernda's 7th of the afternoon, and they stop a run of 2 goals in a row for the Raiders to bring it back within 41 points.
Unselfish play by Bell then. He could have had a snap, but he not only had the under a little bit of pressure, just had a good look, and then the big handball right into the goal square for Crouch made an absolute certainty of it.
So they're 14-10-94 Old Parade. With that goal for the Demons, they go to 7-11-53. 14 minutes gone into this last quarter.
And I would say Bell would be best for the D's.
Yeah, he's been consistent all day in the middle of the ground. I'll have to agree there, Doug, as we go back in the middle. The 2 number 1 rucks in Morrison and Gilmore going at it. Gilmore knocks it down to Whittle. Does well to get the clearing kick up towards where Bounty is. Trapped it beautifully for the big fella. Gives it off to the running Colatillo, who's run himself into a bit of trouble. hacks around with a right foot snap. Turner can't take the mark. Bounces over the top of the head of Franz. Running onto it out the back was Philp. Couldn't quite take it cleanly. So Roussos will clean up the mess for Mernda. His hacking kick out of the back line works for Black, who's got a bit of space in front of him. Taps it on, then gets a right foot check side up towards where Pachiga is. Couldn't quite take the mark. Did really well at ground level to collect it. Handball over the top to Roussos. His kick is a low worm burner. Doesn't work for a teammate, which allows Old Parade to bounce off half back. Desmond sends it back inside forward 50 where Healy is. And although it became a contested mark right at the end, thanks to Vincent coming in late, he was all by himself for an eternity there, Healy. Started the day at half back and could potentially kick his second goal of the afternoon.
Healy's been pretty good as well, like defence and forward.
So Blair Healy has already got one to his name. Could this be his second? Yes, it is. Both in this last quarter as well, as the Raiders respond in some style. They go out.
They hit the ton.
They hit the ton, they do. After not having a goal in that first quarter, they've found their way up to 100 points exactly. 15-10-100. Just gone 16 minutes in this last quarter. Mernda 7-11-53. They're back out to being up by 47 points in this preliminary final.
So the Raiders just stamping their authority and at the same time, well, sending a message to the Stars to say, watch out next week. Gilmore, tap. There's Whittle as well. Awkward bounce there for Roussos. Great pressure coming from Tolly on Black. Great interception now from Cooper. Running goal. Decides to give it off. Kafari couldn't take the mark. Franz, great tackle as well. Kelly over to Yankos. He'll clear it. 2-on-1 in favour of the Demons. Mark taken, and now they're away. Taking a bounce is Golich. He goes down the line over the head of Mazzarella. Sam Gilmore has time to pick up the ball on the bounce and just chip it short to Desmond. Now true centre half back. Desmond. Chipping ball is okay to Cooper. Cooper now towards half forward. Does it get past Bennett? He got a hand onto it, Bennett, but then just couldn't control it well over the line. We'll have a boundary throw in.
That's one of the first times kicking with a breeze that they've really wasted the ball. The Raiders just went too wide to the dead pocket. Not that it's going to matter too much now.
Certainly right, Doug. I'll be happy to have this blemish.
Yeah.
After doing so much good work earlier. Morrison got the tap. And we'll have a secondary stoppage. On the 50-metre line for the Raiders, who lead by 47 points at this preliminary final. Ball gets tossed up again. Kinglake. We go inside 50. Mark paid, I think, to Kerr. Yes, it's going to be Kerr that takes the mark.
I was confused. There was a lot going
Made
on for the stoppage.
Yeah, it was like a slips catch right around your ankles,
now,
actually.
as we said, Kerr hasn't kicked the goal yet today, despite being their leading goal kicker. He'd love to get on the board. Tight angle, he's going to run around and snap it with the left boot, and he's kicked it across the face.
He almost passed. It almost went to boundy as a pass.
Yeah.
On the full as a result. So
now with the Demons kicking out from this free kick here, the number one thing is don't kick the ball out of bounds on the full.
Let's see what they go.
So Guelpho takes the advice, Doug, and uses it to perfection. His kick up towards Morrison, no mark taken. Cooper, I don't know if he legally handballed it, but it still works out to Ericsson. Boundy couldn't take the mark and instead helps the ball over the line for a boundary throw-in. He's been one of their best. I think he's probably in the conversation for best on, Cooper, for Old Parade. Been able to get on the scoreboard as well today, with only a behind, but still has helped the end product. Gilmore's tap doesn't work on this occasion. Rakavolis under a lot of pressure, still did well to get a kick away. Trying to get in there to help out is Golich for Mernda. Does get a handball out to Vincent in the end, up towards Mazzarella. Tries to shrug the tackle before having to give it off to Yankos. His handball intercepted by Whittle. Did well to quickly give it off to Brunskill. Then Rufus Jones, who sends it high up towards the pocket. Can a mark be taken? Yes! Kerr won't take it, but Boundy out the back will. He's already kicked 2 rippers today, Boundy. Could this be his third deep inside the pocket? I've probably jinxed him. But he's had enough good luck, I think, with some of the goals he's kicked today. So Boundy, 28 years of age, kicked over 200 goals in his career, so he's familiar with how to kick them. And the goal umpire was quick to say that was definitely not a goal.
That was a bit narrow, but Boundy credits him. He kicked 2 fantastic goals into the wind, bringing back memories of Patrick Farrant last weekend against the Raiders, who managed to kick 4 against the Breeze.
So Turner will clear it away. We're into time bond now in this last quarter. He'll chip it short to Black. I'll go down the line, the Demons. Morrison's a target. Didn't get to him in the end. There's Callett. Got a good handball forward now for Roussos, who takes a bounce on the wing. His kick towards half forward's okay. But doing well is Will Gilmore. No!
Great tackle.
Didn't get boot to ball, so holding the footy. And it's going to go here to Bachiga with the man of the mark. About 47 to 48 metres out. What's the chip it inside? And just got to Black.
And just seeing him through the year, I don't think there's any hope of Chiga getting the distance there. Black's about would need his best from here to have a shot, have a chance.
Yeah, he certainly would. For his 10th goal of the season, Riley Black on the pay to 50. That's hung up well in the air. And almost a mark taken by the Raiders. Nicolo does claim the mark, yes. So, down to the last few minutes, you'd think in this game. Here's Jones. Not controlling on his Ericsson. Picked up now by Bell. He centres this footy. Coming in from the side is Bachiga. Couldn't take the mark. And umpire says high contact free. Going to the Demons. And 50 for umpire abuse.
Despite the fact that the Raiders got that was a very good centering kick by Bell, we're having trouble finding the best for all Paradians, but I think Bell's clearly the best for the D's today.
And he's had a good few weeks
as well.
Yeah,
he's had a good late. He was moved to half back about 2/3 of the way through the season. He's probably been in their best just about every week since then.
Nicolo to Tolly. And the Raiders have moved this ball towards half forward. And might as well have a ping from tight on the boundary line. Touched on the line. And the margin is 49 points. 15-12 plays 7-11. Meanwhile, full time sees Montmorency 9-14-68 defeat North Heidelberg 7-7-49. So the Magpies and the Tigers will meet next week in the second semi. Only Montmorency's second finals win since 2014. Meanwhile, King's going to mark this and they'll take it back again now. Old Paradians. They chip it short to O'Sullivan. And he'll go back and have a shot. Just for some more icing on the cake for Cole O'Sullivan.
Now this will be an interesting kick. He's got the distance and he's a beautiful kick in midfield. Let's see how he goes kicking for goal.
O'Sullivan starts his approach. Man on the marks on the paint of 50. He's on the broadcast side. He's going to chip it inside. Fooled everybody.
And he just proved me right in the sense that he's a very good kick in midfield and he's found a teammate in a better position. His midfield buddy Tolly, who's also had a good day.
Only the 6 goals this year for Joel Tolly. Would love one to cue more celebrations for Old Paradians. 23 minutes gone last term. His side lead by 49 points in a preliminary final. Make that 55 points. Joel Tolly gets the goal. And the Raiders, boys, are going to a grand final.
And you'd think the way that they've been kicking with the wind that they get extra points for narrowly missing the left-hand goalpost and just sneaking in, because it's about, I reckon, half of their kicks for goal have gone on just inside that left-hand goalpost. Doesn't matter whether it misses the goalpost by an inch or goes straight through the middle, it still scores 6 points. And the Raiders are finishing off this quarter well now.
So their first year in the Northern Football Netball League, and they're going to find themselves in a grand final. It's a pretty remarkable effort from the Raiders, as no one's able to win the hit out there in that centre clearance. But Joel Tolly, who just kicked the last goal, streams through, kicks it up towards forward 50. Karafi's going to take it out the back. His handball wasn't too good for Merkel. Still works, trying to go off the ground as Philp. Couldn't quite do it. Out the back and under a lot of pressure is Kelly. Did well to get a handball off to Guelfo, who sends a high up and under kick up towards Harris, which Ericsson kills with emphatic fashion and is a boundary throw-in.
Full time in the MC Labour Division 2 second semi-final. South Morang have won by 5 points.
Wow.
And are going to their first Division 2 grand final. Astonishing. The Eagles have now lost 2 of their last 3 games and will play Diamond Creek in next week's prelim. As this ball hobbles around, I think we're going to get another stoppage here. We will.
Yeah, and
That
if
is
you asked 90% of people 10 weeks ago, they would have said Diamond Creek and Whittlesea for the grand final. Now only one of them can make it.
That is an extraordinary feat from the Lions, who have now defeated the Creekers and the Eagles on their way to a grand final. Franz gets the tap. Nolan will happily see that ball out of bounds.
It's very eerily similar to what Banyule did in Division 2 to get up to Division 1, where no one really gave them a chance to knock off the favourites, got themselves into a grand final, met them again, and then took care of business.
Ball gets tossed up. Morrison's tap goes straight to Whittle. He kicks it inside 50. Tough one for Merkel to control. He'll just tackle instead.
And if the Lions can win next week, that'd be the 3rd Div 3 team to make it all the way up to Div 1, following Hurstbridge and who's the other one? Banyule, of course.
Morrison tried to get the tap. Mazzarella's there, but he'll be cleared instead by Rakavolis. It goes straight, however, to Jones. Good smother from Joel Harris.
That's right. When Jones intercepted that ball, it looked like all for certain it was going to go inside 50, but Harris did very well to come late.
Boundary throw in, 26 gone last term. Old Paradians moments away from celebrations. Morrison. There's Bell. Phillips. Franz. 50 out from goal. Don't know if that was meant for Phil, but it gets to him. He's at the boundary line. Just got the handball away. Couldn't find any help. And the Demons will clear their lines again, maybe only momentarily. They do have the numbers here. Mazzarella came from the side. O'Sullivan set back inside 50 by Jones. Off hands. Here's Healy, who did really well. Healy. Nefari comes in. And it's more goals and more celebrations for Old Paradians. Margins out to 61 points as a result. 17-12, 114 to 7-11-53. 27 minutes goal last quarter.
Yeah, now that was typical of Old Paradians today. Someone, one of their players, I don't know who it was, had the ball in heavy traffic, managed to get a handball out to someone in the clear, and that's made all the difference. They've done that much more cleanly, much more often than Mernda today.
Just snuck up on us, Kafari having his
3 goals,
third.
Yeah, Kafari's actually just put his name in front of the selectors there as a possible candidate. He's been very good.
He's now kicked 12 goals this year from 11 games, which is the same amount but 1 game extra than what he did last year. As the ball goes back in the middle, Morrison going at it, and Franz in there as well. Rakavolis will get the clearance from Mernda. Sends it up towards centre half forward. No mark can be taken. Doing well to collect it there at ground levels. Harris spun out of a tackle. Gives it off to Kellett, who sends a high up and under kick inside forward 50. No one can take the mark. Neither can they collect it at ground level. Roussos was there. So was Cooper for the Raiders. And it'll be a ball up just outside Mernda's forward 50.
And pretty much everyone's waiting for the siren to ring now. I think the Raiders are very happy with their day's work.
Rakavolis takes the clearance, sends it inside forward 50. No mark can be taken for Pachiga. Lockie Taylor does well at ground level. Handballs out into space. Black falls over as he tries to run around absolutely nobody. But Mazzarella comes in from absolutely nowhere. Sends a high ball up towards the top of the goal square. Courage shown by everyone. No one can take the mark. And there's the siren. It ends Mernda's season, but it confirms Old Parade's spot in the 2024 Division 3 Grand Final, where they will meet the Fitzroy Stars in a top-of-the-table clash after the Raiders ran out today 17-12, 114 to 7 goals, 11, 53 winners at